Yeah, we're live. Hi, guys.
Just want to see if someone says hello. Just say,
Yeah.
hi guys.
Hello.
Hi guys, Jack and Tash here again with episode 2 of Leeds Fans Around the World. We've already done one episode. I don't know if you've seen it with Paul from Australia. If you want to check that out after you've watched this, then by all means do. It's on the website, on YouTube and everything.
Yeah, and it's an absolute honour to have Chris with us today from California. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi guys, how's it going? Yeah, basically I'm here in, well, I was going to say sunny, but it's not so sunny at the minute. I think whatever's going on, it's affecting the weather as well. We've usually got about 35 degrees and it's 12 today. So God knows what's happening. It's going to piss it down soon as well.
It's been
I know.
Maybe about 17 degrees here today, yeah.
Yeah, we've got some friends that were due to come out. They were due to come out now, actually, and we'd got everything planned for this week. Obviously, that didn't happen, and then they've got the weather, and we've got whatever's happening. But yeah, I'm here at Edwards Air Force Base in Southern California. It's about an hour and a half north of Los Angeles.
Oh, we've lost you, Chris.
Random school just started phoning me.
Right, we're back. You're back.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, you're back. Can you hear us?
Is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you.
Hold on, I can't hear you guys. It's gone off.
Hello.
Can you hear us now?
I still can't hear you guys.
Live TV, yeah.
Yeah, Martin. Let us know in the comments if you can hear us. If it's not us. The answer is David Bay.
What's the question?
Hi, John. He's from New York, right? Yeah, been in that bar. We went. Well, I went. Years.
There you go. I can hear you now.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, a random school started phoning me, and then all of a sudden my mic went off.
Right. Oh.
So yeah, I'm here in California. We're about an hour and a half north of Los Angeles. I'm originally from a little village called Thorpe on the Hill. It's between Rothwell and East Ardsley, just outside Leeds.
I know it well.
It's about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely little. Oh, we used to be a lovely little village anyway.
And what is it that you're doing out there? Obviously, you've got a big plane behind you.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't work on that one. That's the SR-71 Blackbird, the fastest plane that ever used to be in service. Absolutely phenomenal machine.
Wow.
I'm in the Royal Air Force. I work on the F-35 out here, along with some Royal Navy counterparts. So, yeah, I'm quite lucky to be out here. And I've got quite a lot of Leeds fans that's out here as well. So,
all right. Have you never been tempted to just jump in that and press the start button and just lift it up into air and go for the ride?
It'd be nice. Unfortunately, it's got no engines in it.
You were like running in there. Go, go, go.
Yeah, I'm at the flight test museum, so it's where the first of every aircraft that's been in service for the US Air Force is based. So there's some pretty special aircraft around here, so it's pretty incredible.
I can imagine. It's it's my dream job. If I could do better at school, I'd love to have been a pilot. So that would have been my dream job, to be a pilot. So especially seeing them kinds of, obviously something like that. I mean, it must be an absolute dream to be working with them planes every day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not a pilot. I'm a pilot's hero. I'm an engineer, so.
Yeah. Well, that's good enough. You'll keep them up.
We're above pilots, so we're good.
Okay, then. So tell us about your match day routine whilst you're out there. Do you get to watch many games?
Yeah, well, I stream pretty much every game that's on. So depending on what time the game's on, if it's an early kickoff on a Saturday, I'll set my alarm for 4 a.m, get up, get all my snacks ready and my drinks ready, and then I'll sit down, watch TV, and then we'll go through the game there. If it's the normal kickoff, it's about 7:30 in the morning, so it's perfect. You just wake up straight into the game. And then if it's through the week, it's usually about 11:30, 11:45, so quarter to midday. So if I'm working nights, I get to watch that. If not, unfortunately, I miss out. But yeah, the timing for the games works out perfectly. The only problem is, with them being on so early, it either completely ruins your entire weekend, completely makes your entire weekend. And we've had a bit of everything this season.
I think so.
So you mentioned there's other Leeds fans out there. Do you get together to watch it, or?
No, well, because of the time in the morning, I usually just watch it at home. But I mean, if they decide to come out here, we'll all get together. But even on my squadron, there's quite a lot of us. I do believe we're the most supported team on my entire squadron.
Yeah,
I believe we've got 5 of us at the minute, and then we're recruiting a couple of the Americans out here as well. So
I was going to say, have you converted anyone yet?
Yeah, I told them it's not called soccer. It's football. It's not soccer.
But yeah, the main one for that's my son. We went out this morning. We've been doing some sort of teaching at home.
Yeah.
And the kids were arguing whether we were going to go outside and play soccer or football.
Yeah, tell them right. It's football. Yeah. Football always, not soccer.
Yeah. Well, my little girl put her Leeds top on, and she's like, I'm being Leeds. And then my little boy put his American football top on, and he's like, I'm being the Chargers.
So what was it like when we got the 49ers girl out there?
Yeah, it's California, isn't it? Yeah, it's same place where you are.
Yeah, well, that's a bit of a funny story. It just pretty much goes on exactly how everything else has gone with me and Leeds. I got out here, I was pondering on the NFL team for the best part of a year, I'd say. And then eventually I was like, look, I have no idea who to support. So I went for the Chargers because it's got a lightning bolt on. I work on the lightning. So I was like, boom.
Oh, nice.
I'll go for them. 2 weeks later, it was announced that the 49ers had taken Leeds. After I'd bought 3 jerseys, loads of hats and everything. So I was just like, here we go.
So who do you still support them? Or?
Yeah, well, I sort of double dip, which is a bit odd for a sports team, but I can't really turn my back on them because I bought all the gear, and I can't turn my back on the 49ers because they may be as prospective owners in a couple of years. So. So yeah.
I mean, as I say, you mentioned obviously there's other Leeds fans. You know, Squadron's most supported team out there. You know, they're not glorious as proper fans. You know, that's it. Sport a proper team like us. But what were your first game then? What's the game you won?
My first game was against Spurs. I can't remember what year it was. It was when Wallace did that run from one end to the other and scored the wonder goal.
Yeah, picked up in his own half and went, fantastic. Yeah. Bent it straight in then to top end, bent it straight into right-hand corner.
That's the bad boy. Right. And ironically, that's the only game I've ever seen Leeds win live.
You're banned now then.
Yeah, well, my brother banned me a couple of years ago. I must have been to 15 games maybe, and we've lost every single one, apart from that game. So I don't go anymore. But since I've started watching it live over here, we've not done too bad. So
you know what to do now, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get a season ticket, but that's not going to happen because we'd end up in the fucking conference.
I used to be a bad omen until I got a season ticket, didn't I?
Yeah, you're not so bad now.
Yeah.
It might need that then. Yeah, I remember once.
It's really nice whether to get one or not.
Yeah, because I mean, my brother used to play for Alton Owls.
Oh yeah.
When he was younger, and they went the entire season undefeated. They were top of the league by miles, like a bigger gap than Liverpool's got now.
Yeah.
And they went to play the bottom of the league, and I went, I'll come down and watch you today. They lost 7-1.
So you definitely you're not carrying Lucky Shamrock around with you, are you? Where you go?
No. So yeah, I don't really go to live things anymore because it don't work out.
Yeah. Well, as I say, I'm gonna
Have you been to any NFL live?
Yeah, I've been to a couple. I went to Chargers versus Cardinals and the Rams versus the Cardinals, actually. So, yeah, it's very strange. It's so much different watching it in real life on TV. On TV, it's just commercials.
Yeah.
It's like run 2 yards and then have a half-hour break. Whereas it's not like that when it's in person. Because as soon as they're done, they'll bring a band on, or they'll bring someone singing on, or they'll have some entertainment, and they're back on. So it's
as I say, I watched the Super Bowl. I watched so much of it, and I think I know it's like 15-minute quarters, isn't it? 15-minute quarter.
Yeah.
It goes on for like 15, 30, an hour. That's what it'll go on for. But it's like the last 4 hours of the game.
Yeah, it's mental.
It is, yeah. Again, we watch it here at home, and usually we adverts. But then again, I think in the world, is it? Nothing more money than positive money than the game.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear the last bit of that question. It started going a bit fuzzy again.
I said that I think the Super Bowl itself generates more money for that one game, that 1 hour than anything else in the world, doesn't it? I think commercial.
The halftime commercial is the most expensive commercial on earth. So
so it was about $2.5 million for 30 seconds or 10 seconds or something.
It's absolutely ridiculous money. Yeah. So I mean, if you can advertise in that, then it's all well and good. And obviously, we're all rooting for the 49ers because if they won the Super Bowl, they got a big paycheck. We might get a little bit of a paycheck.
Well, I think that's the only reason that I wanted to watch this one, because they were in it.
Yeah, but obviously it was going to happen. They pulled the Leeds. They went all the way through. They dominated, got to the last quarter, and then those far.
We've rubbed off on them since they got involved.
Yeah.
Go on, Jonah.
No, you can ask.
I was going to say, who's your favourite current player then at the moment in our squad at the moment? Then
I've been thinking long and hard about it. Obviously, we've got quite a lot of phenomenal talent at the minute, but I've got to go for the absolute underdog, which is the Cookstown Cafu. Stuart Dallas. He's just a different. He reminds me so much of James Milner.
Yeah.
To the point where I'd love Milner to come back, but I'm like, do we need him? We've got someone that can play everywhere apart from goalkeeper. So
the lad. I mean, I've always been an admirer of Dallas. I've always liked him. I didn't think he got a fair crack at whip. I didn't think he was a winger. I never ever thought he was a winger. I don't think he was good enough to be a winger.
Completely agree.
But he's my player of the year this year. I've said that he is for me. He has been the most consistent player. Week in, week out. And I think we had a talk about this before. I think it's because he realises now he's an integral part of that team. He knows that he's going to be in that team every week. So he hasn't got that pressure of, I'm in this week. I've got to really try hard and try hard. Now he's just flowing. Every game he flows. And you don't realise how good he is until, if you actually sat and watched him and the amount of work he does up and down that side and and chipping in with goals now and assists, and he's a fantastic player. It's a good shout. That really
the best way I can explain him is like a grey player, because unless you physically watch him as a player, you'll never notice his performance.
Yeah, that's
but exactly. If you take him out of the team, then we're lost without him. So
absolutely.
He would definitely be my pick for this season, amongst even with Phillips. Phillips obviously is a different league to everyone. I think he's the best defensive midfielder in England. Full stop. I don't even think there's anyone in the Premier League that's better than him. But
I think that's a fair shout, and I don't think that a lot of people are saying that. I know a lot of people are always saying, but he's only playing Championship football. I said I don't care. He'd go in Premier League and he would boss the Premier League with Calvin Phillips. He's the maturity now, and I think a lot of that is down to how Bielsa has coached him.
Yeah.
And Bielsa has made that kid now into what he is, and you can just see the difference, how mature he is, how composed he is, how just everything. He's just unbelievable player.
And you got that feeling where you think he can still get better as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, well, you wonder how he can get better with him being so good, but you like it. What is he now? 24?
I don't think he's that. He's 23 in there. I think he's. Someone may answer in the. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because you think most defenders usually get better towards like the late 20s. So when his game craft gets even better as well, he's literally going to be magical.
I mean, it's like I said, he's a defensive midfielder, and then obviously when he first started his career with Leeds, he played a bit more forward, and he did chip in with a few goals. Now and again, obviously the Birmingham one, which I think was most apt goal for him to get on the centenary game, Leeds lad, the winner. You could that was just written. It was just written with that. It was perfect. And then you know, if he chipped in with a few more goals, it would just complete.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I always think as well when I think of Calvin Phillips is how good he's transformed. Because of all the people that sort of graduated the academy or whatever at that time, he was the one that was lagging behind with everything. And then you think of like Ronaldo Vieira, he was miles ahead of Phillips.
Yeah, everyone would have chosen him at first, yeah.
Can you imagine how good Vieira would be under Bielsa?
Absolutely, but
I think he was
Vieira was there while Bielsa, obviously Vieira was there with Bielsa. The rumours are, Bielsa didn't want to get rid of him. But I think if Bielsa really, really, really wants to keep him, we would have kept him. I believe that. So I think obviously, you know, the money came in whatever, 6 million. And I think they probably put it to Bielsa and he said, yeah, take the money, I can work with, I can make Calvin a miles better player, you know. And I think because I always said that when Vieira come on the scene first, and we used to be an argument, him or Phillips, and I said, you couldn't have put Phillips in Vieira's league.
And I remember when people were saying, oh, yeah, Phillips could be an England player. You would go, no way. No chance. But now
I can hold my hands up and say, I will eat my words because it made me look a bit silly. This obviously a few years ago.
I was exactly the same. I was like, he's literally terrible. He can't tackle, he can't pass, he can't this,
that was the main thing, wasn't it? His tackles. He used to just do so many dangerous tackles that was just why?
An interesting comment before here from Paul Williams. One for you, see what you think about this, Chris. Can you imagine Lewis Cook under Bielsa?
No. I can't imagine how good he'd be under Bielsa.
Can you imagine that, you know, because I always just think the thing I used to say about Lewis Cook as well, everything was 100 mile an hour with Lewis Cook. He did everything at 120 mile an hour. Now, if you imagine Bielsa, because technically Lewis Cook were...
His fitness was
well, he had the fitness, didn't he? But technically Lewis Cook was one of the best academy products we've had for a lot of years, technically wise. If you imagine what Bielsa would have done with it, it's a great comment. Is that Paul?
Fantastic, yeah. I don't think you can explain. I think it'd have probably blown the world up or something. It'd have been that.
Little road runner just seemed fine behind him when he's in the ball like.
It'd have been one of those where he'd played everyone off the park, and because his name's not Messi, he don't get all the plaudits and stuff. It's like you see some of the stuff we've done this season. If they had Messi on the back of the shirts, it'd be on every single advertisement and banner in the world, but not Leeds.
I think with the third or fourth goal against Hull, did you get to see the whole game?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to see that. I think the third or fourth goal, it started down in our left-hand corner, and the movement, the play to get it up, and I think it would have gone for was it Levine tapping Robert's header. I think it was the movement and the passing. If that had been Man City, that would have been Barcelona, that would have been a Liverpool. It doesn't get shown constantly, but because it didn't get shown. See, that just shows the team that we are. The best team that
yeah, I mean Roberts as well. He's phenomenal. When he's not injured, he is phenomenal.
He's my favourite player with Tyler.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. But I don't think you can look at any of them and say, yeah, you're not quite there. You even look at Berardi. He comes in, and every time I see him on the team sheet, I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
And then he's phenomenal.
It's like a mirror image. I'm exactly the same. He never lets you down. He never lets you down. And he took that stupidness out. What I did this, I know he did it against Derby last year. He played semi-finals and himself sent off ridiculously, if you remember. Yeah, but he's got a wild, mad streak about him, like that making the player he is. But I think Bielsa's calmed down completely, and he is valuable squad member, you know.
Yeah.
He's one though. He's contracted up as well, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. If we do go up, I do believe, give him a year. He deserves to play in the Premier League and have a go in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I'd give him another year, definitely. You know, he
And
deserves.
not only that,
Yeah.
you give him a year in the Premier League, he's a Premier League player who is worth more.
Yeah, of course, yeah, absolutely.
So even as a business decision, you've got to keep him, but he deserves it. Like you say, he's given everything for the club, and he's been there how long now? Was he not one of the sickness 9 or whatever it was?
He were part of the sick note 6, but he didn't. He wouldn't be part of it. That's why Leeds loved him, because he wouldn't be part of it. He was part of that. That it would all to do with payment appearances and appearance money, wasn't it? And it was Cellino saying none of you can play, and they all faked injury and that. But he wouldn't, and he actually travelled down. He wasn't allowed to play, but he still travelled down with squad and watched. You know what I mean? And Leeds fans always never forgot that. You know, he wasn't part of that, and he wouldn't want to. I don't think that's his. That now he is, that in his morals, that in his ethics. You know, you can tell he's just. I mean, you've met him, haven't you? You've had a couple of coffee, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just a really quiet bloke, lovely bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, with highlights, I don't know.
Yeah.
Check them out. Shut down.
So just again, first I'm going to say, who's your favourite all-time Leeds player?
I'm going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works here and maybe pee some people off, but I've got to say Alan Smith.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, he's a townie of yours as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he went to the same school as me. He went to Redillion. And I mean, from what I can remember from the past, obviously there's been some greats, but one of the shining lights I can remember from the past was Smith. And I know obviously there's this whole thing about he kissed the badge at Man U. I don't think he did, but some people saying they've seen videos of it. I've never seen a video of it and all the rest of it. But yeah, I think he was absolutely phenomenal. But there's so many you can choose from. I used to absolutely love Eric Bakker, and I have no idea why. Literally no idea why. But he used to be one of my favourites as well.
A good player, Bakker. He was no nonsense. He was no wonder you never noticed what he was doing. He was a good player.
Yeah, no one.
I like him, he was a good player. But I think if you go and talk about the whole thing with Smith, I think because at that time, Leeds United would have we were finished.
Yeah.
Everything. And we know now afterwards that Smith he did it for the Leeds United for getting money. You know. I think if in hindsight he probably wouldn't have signed for them, but they were the club who were offering the most money. So he did that.
I don't think anyone else was after him either.
No, we all know this afterwards now, but I think it was because of who it was. And Leeds United being in such turmoil, and we were getting
all angry.
Relegated. We were angry at the club. We were angry at everything. We were angry at Alan Smith going to Man United. I think that's what it was, because I think a lot of people now have all said, "Well, it is what it is." We understand he actually did it to help the club, I think a lot of people have forgiven him. Because I was just really, really hoping you weren't going to say Harry Kewell.
Do you know what I was thinking? I was like, he's not.
I was shaking like
that. I'm not saying I planned that with a lead up, but I thought if I go down that route, you'll both be like, don't go there. Don't go there.
I was taking a deep breath, like, please don't tell me, Cole, please. We'll be getting shut down at what? No. But we've got a few there.
So, some comments. Go from the start.
But New York White's checking in, John Milstein. So he's other side of country to you, don't he, New York?
Have you ever travelled from America with another place like New York White?
I've not done New York, but we did one hell of a road trip. Not last year, the year before. We flew into Dallas, and then we went around Texas for a little bit. We drove through Louisiana down to New Orleans, then went across to Florida. Up through Birmingham, Alabama, went to Nashville, and then we went up through Illinois and a couple of other places, stopped in St. Louis, down through Oklahoma and back to Dallas.
Please tell me you went to Joy Exotic Zoo.
If I'd have known about it, I was actually going to open up today with Hello Cool Cats and Kittens.
You've got to go to Tiger King Zoo. Oh,
Pal, if I'd have known about it, I'd have been there. Although now I'd have been a meth head and I'd have changed my sexual preference. But...
Yeah.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
When you watch it Saturday night, I've never been more blown away by anything in my life. It just mental, wasn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah.
He's took off completely over here. It's been a bit of a relief from everything else that's going on at the minute. That's the only talking point. And now all it is fuck Carol Baskin. That's all anyone ever says.
Yeah, everything you hear, yeah. I mean, my Facebook feed is literally full of memes for like this fuck Carol Baskin.
So what was your favourite place in America?
Oh, good one. I love New Orleans. It was really nice. I really like Nashville. It's just such a cool place to be. Live music everywhere you go.
Well then.
No, most of
it. When you talk about Nashville, you talk about great singers. You mentioned Miley Cyrus. Not Elvis, Miley Cyrus.
Who? Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I mean, obviously, I'm in Southern California. I love California. I don't love the taxes here. It's possibly the most expensive state to live other than Hawaii in the United States.
Is it? Yeah.
But Florida, for me, it's got to be Florida. The Panhandle, the north of Florida. The seas are just so light blue. The sand is so white you can't even look at it with sunglasses on.
Wow.
It's absolutely beautiful. So.
Yeah, we went to Seychelles and it was like that, wasn't it? It was just pure,
I mean, I've not done that part. I've done Mickey Mouse's house and all that, like in Florida, but I've never done any of that, you know. But there's a lot of comments on there. So, how long are you out there for now then?
I'm due back in August, so.
Oh, okay.
We need to get the season kicked on and Leeds promoted before I get back. Yeah.
Let's have a look then.
Ollie on tour's watching it from the shower, okay?
Cheers, you'll just be careful.
Enjoy your shower.
Yeah, Patrick Gibbs. Oh, he said nice. He said he's drove from Florida to Texas once. How long would that take?
You'd be looking at probably 18 hours.
Yeah. What, not without stopping?
Yeah, well, depends where in Texas as well. Texas is about 6 hours to get from one side to the other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So did you go to any basketball matches?
I've not. We said we wanted to go to one before we came out here, and we've still not been to one.
We've been watching Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I went to a baseball game, and baseball just blows my mind. I'm like, this is literally just overpaid rounders.
I've said I'm going to get paid absolutely amounts.
Yeah, I don't get it, but hey.
Each to their own, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So what else have we got here? Best Leeds player post-review era.
Post-Revy. I think that's
it's
nice. He's going to say Revy.
It was going out, so yeah. Post-Revy era has to be Gordon Strachan. Now that was the leader.
Yeah, very much so. Gordon Strachan, I think Gordon Strachan were the jigs. The last piece of the jigsaw gets promoted back in.
Yeah.
He was definitely. He was.
Yeah.
And then
I can't really remember much of it at that time because I was a bit young. And I mean, I've watched things back, but obviously when you watch things back, you don't have the passion of watching it live and everything. So, I mean, what a time to live through, but yeah.
Yeah, you are. Matthew Smith, he was born and raised in Denver, Colorado, and a lifelong Leeds fan. MOT to you, Matthew. Eh?
Yeah, it's literally just over there, about 16-hour drive.
Over there, yeah.
Just round the corner.
Over there, like that.
Gonna pop over for a coffee.
Sean McGonigal, my grandparents lived in Leeds and I'm a quarter Yorkshire. Where are you from now, Sean? Matthew Smith, I think this is around about. He flew over to England for 3 games, but due to his career, he's not unable to fly over. Would love to return one day. So he's
hopefully for promotion.
Hopefully promotion party one day, yeah.
Have to drive 10 hours to get to our next major city. It's big here.
Yeah,
oh wow! I thought it was bad for me when I lived in the island. 10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours. You next time the 10-hour drive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly big out here.
So then, Chris, I mean, what's your hope for the future? What do you think? I mean, if we can get playing again, hopefully very, very soon, do you think we'll win it?
Truthfully, or
Yeah, no, yeah.
Obviously, I really hope we do, but I've always been a realist. I mean, I can see us going back into it and being like, when we start a season and we're absolutely flying, it's either going to be that situation or it's going to be the situation where they cram loads of games in and it's going to be like Christmas. And we all know how we do at Christmas.
And we struggle at Christmas. I think it's a big shame what happened because we just seem to be hitting perfect form at the right time.
Yeah.
This like started, we got past that we've been on a team roll and just pulled the socks up and really we fired on. I think this is going to be a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we are going to go up from the playoffs.
Oh. So kind of like when we was in League One, we messed up the playoffs and then we went up the following year, didn't we?
Yeah, we got beat playoffs and went up the following year. Yeah, but we didn't even mess playoffs up. Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, one thing I've said for years and years and years, and I've always had this gut feeling, and I don't know where it's come from, is that when we return to the Premier League, we're going to take Nottingham Forest with us. And I've literally, at the start of every season, I've always said to my brother, I'm like, put a bet on Leeds and Forest to go up.
I'm going to say, have you had a bet on that yourself?
I tried to, but we can't bet on websites out here. So.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, is that going to happen this season? I mean, I'd love to see Fulham falter and Forest to win the playoff final, us to go up champions, and then I really don't care who goes second. West Brom, because who cares?
I think we're in hot weather as well.
We're not going to really weather though. The love of it is going to be summer football, isn't it? How it's going to go now. So
yeah,
we'll just see. I mean, I'm sure he'll have cameras set up in all their houses, watching every single thing we're doing.
Yeah.
He'll have spreadsheets to when he wants a toilet, what time for the breakfast, on a screen when they get back. So I think I've been watching every single one of you.
Well, yeah, I read a thing earlier. I can't remember what the link was. I tried to find it again, but I couldn't find it. And it was someone saying that one of the, I don't know if it was a physio or a fitness coach or something, when all this started escalating a little bit in January, they started monitoring the situation, and then as it got a little bit further on, they started putting plans in place, and then they bought all the players that managed to get like the top exercise bikes, the top, literally all the phys equipment they could ever need, and literally as soon as the government went, we're locking down, it was all the kit was delivered to each of their houses that night. So I mean, I don't know what truth there is in that, but it's Bielsa, so you can imagine it.
He does like to plan ahead.
Yeah.
It looks like this, he's already analysed everything, so everything that's to do with it, like he knows everything, how it works and where it moves and that and all this.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Get him on the case, he'll solve everything.
Sort it all out. But, yeah, so I mean, just another question here, obviously, it's not even getting there thinking about, but I don't think we don't do it this year. Obviously, I think we'll have to say goodbye to Mr. Bielsa. I think he would not do the championship, which I don't think he shouldn't need to at his age. So hopefully we go up and we do get one more year out of him, and then he's put the club in a good step. He's in a good position in Premier League. Who would you like to win after?
Pochettino.
I've said it. Same one. That's the man I've said. But I don't think. I think the only thing with that is I think we're probably having a good time. I do.
Yeah.
unless he'll obviously have to, unless Bielsa said, "Look, I'm going to be on the year. You come in and take over this once I've gone over." You don't know because obviously he's been his mentor when he was a player himself. Pochettino he said that. He's tried so much.
Player would you like to sign a move from Leeds?
What player would I like to sign?
Yeah.
If we go up.
Well, strange you should say that. I've always had these other gut feelings or whatever, and me and my brother always talk about it all the time about players we'd like to sign. And literally every summer, I'll name one player that'll transform a team that season. I said about Kasper Schmeichel a year and a half before we got him, and then the summer we went in and got him. I mentioned about him then. And I remember, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I mentioned about a tall striker that was fairly unknown at the time, Haaland.
Oh, well, oh, God.
Yeah, and I don't know how much truth there is in the rumours that we got offered him for 10 million and we said, no, it's too much of a risk. I wouldn't have hoped that would have happened, but yeah.
Well, I think we all know, obviously, the history about Haaland, that he is actually born here, obviously born in Leeds, and he's a Leeds fan.
Yeah.
I think he's now, how he's started at Dortmund, I think he's completely out of our league now. I think he's forever. Forget about that. The only teams he'd be going to, your mega team, Barcelona, your Real Madrids.
But when he doing about
but he wouldn't be able to come to Leeds.
Or Leeds United with PSG money.
Yes, there is that as well, isn't there? Right, there is that.
Yeah, because that won't go away no matter how much everyone tries. It just keeps cropping up. It's cropped up again recently.
Yeah, I think it was Phil A. Just he maybe a tweet out the other day something about it's not getting the water. There's still nothing being said, but it's not getting the water. I mean, can you imagine that the money?
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, we were just doing a bit of feedback then. It was just thinking then. But I'm thinking what it is like the Qatari money. Obviously, they'll want a team in Premier League. I think if we go up, serious talk. I imagine there's probably been serious talk about investment. I think.
Yeah.
I think one day, where is Chris King from? So if you want to answer that, someone who just asked the question.
Where am I from?
Yeah.
Wakey. We'll go Wakey.
Yeah.
I'm from Thorpe, between Rothwell and East Ardsley, so
does anyone in America think you're Scottish?
No, everyone thinks I'm Australian. Literally every British person out here, they're all like, "Oh, whereabouts in Australia are you from?" It's like, first of all, I'm not, and second of all, don't ask me a question that's going to confuse you, because if I say a part of Australia, you won't know where it is anyway.
I'm from Rothwell in Australia. Oh, brilliant.
I'm from Thorpe on Ayers Rock.
Yeah. What about, do you know, we've had talks in the past, obviously, you'll obviously know about the clamour for tickets at the minute anyway. You know, it's nigh on impossible. Home games are bad, but away games, nigh on impossible to get tickets. Obviously, we're getting promoted to Premier League, 38,000 or 36 really, isn't it? That's what the ground is.
Yeah.
It's never going to be enough. I mean, what would you think? How would they improve that? Where would you start improving that ground? What would be the first thing you do?
I'd mirror the what is it? East stand, the big one with a frame on.
Yeah.
I'd mirror that on the west.
Yeah, knock the west down. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, we've had talks with. I mean, a lot of people think. I think the only place that couldn't develop now or couldn't develop would be the south stand because of obviously the road.
Yeah.
I think, and now obviously there's a police station literally being built.
Yeah, just down the road. Yeah.
On the 5-minute walk. So you can imagine what it'd be like for the police want that road constantly clear all the time for getting cars up and down. You know?
Yeah.
I think it just got to you couldn't go out. And everything, it cost far too much money. So I think that'd be the only option really, not the west stand. And
Yeah.
Come down and start again there.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, yeah. So I know there's been a lot of things in the past about we should definitely move and this, that, and other. No.
No. That's our
no.
soul and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, we've been. I mean, we do obviously. We go all away games, and I've been at some of these new modern grounds, and they're absolutely beautiful to look at.
Yeah,
but they've just got no character. They've got no atmosphere. They've got no soul. They've got nothing about them. I mean, I love going to Willsbury. I love going to Villa Park. Proper old school grounds. You know what I mean? Even Barnsley, it's a dump, but it's a proper ground. You know, and these new shiny stadiums, they're awful. You know, they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
One of the Americans I work with out here, it's quite strange actually because he's massively into his football. He even calls it football, so that's how big into his football he is.
Yeah.
And he literally watches absolutely everything. He's a massive Arsenal fan. And when I got speaking to him was after the game, and he's like, "Oh, who do you support in football?" I'm like, "Oh, Chargers, 49ers." He's like, "No, I mean proper football." I'm like, "What?" Anyway. Long story short, we eventually got on to talking about football. And he was saying, "Oh, yeah, I want to go over to the UK. I want to go and watch some live football." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Who would you like to see Arsenal play?" And he's like, "I'll be honest with you. I'd love to see him play Leeds again. But I want to see us play Leeds at Elland Road. I don't want it to be down at Arsenal because it's like there's no atmosphere there. It's a new stadium. It's like I want to go to an old school stadium. I've seen some Leeds matches, and he's like, it hurts your ears on TV, so I can't imagine what it would feel like to be in there." And I'm like, "Yeah, it feels horrible because every time I've been in there, we've lost."
Oh, Carl. Hi guys, hope all's well. Jack, are you related? If you've done a flat cap, Jack, you'll be twins. I just need a flat cap. You're about a baby or something.
So I'll take that because I think you look a bit like David Beckham, and he's
I'm off now. That's it.
Your beard was bushy yesterday.
Yeah, I had a shave yesterday. I had a shave today. We can't. I'm having to sort my hair out because there's no hairdressers at the minute, and it's starting.
Yeah.
I'm putting gel at it. It's just going like that a minute. So I'm putting loads of gel to try and keep it down. No hairdressers. You can't get his hair cut. So we're going to do the Corona skinhead because everyone's doing that a minute, just shaving all their hair off, and hopefully it'll just grow back nicely when we're all out of lockdown and all allowed out again.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't look too bad then, and you're just in your house. So yeah. So yeah, Chris, absolutely. You know, it's been a pleasure. You know, thank you very much for doing this. And showing us that beautiful bird behind you. I'm going to say blackbird, but it sounds a bit racist if I say blackbird, wouldn't it?
No, I think it's one of the things that you can still say that about.
We can still call it a blackbird, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. I'll take you and have a
look at it.
It's a bit special.
Wow. What sort of speed?
You don't build them like that anymore.
What sort of speed would that do?
I think it's about 3,000 miles an hour.
How would you handle that side? Nothing.
They have to wear space suits.
I was going to say, you'd have to, wouldn't you? Compression and everything on that, and
well, they never had one shot down because it's faster than any missile that, for the time, the Russians could fire at it. They'd fire a missile at it and they'd just put the throttle forward, and the missile would be like, balls to this.
So they're playing the keys now.
Lightning.
What's it?
Oh no,
Yeah, F-35.
F-35 Lightning, how fast does that go?
Not that fast. I think it's about 1,200 miles an hour, so it's...
It's slow, isn't it? Pedestrian, is that, isn't it? Right. You know what I mean? Who's flying that? An old age pensioner or something? Yeah, that's
exactly, yeah. It's not too bad. It does its job.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah. Last question for you, Rich Bedford. I like this one, actually. It's a good one. If you could have any player from the past, who would you have?
Ooh. See, I'm going to stick with Smith.
Yeah.
Smith or Viduka. And the reason why, and I wouldn't get rid of Bamford for them, I'd put Bamford as a number 10 because I think Bamford is phenomenal. and he doesn't get the praise that he deserves. He just can't shoot for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a confidence thing, but his work rate and his if he was the number 10, he'd be absolutely awesome. So yeah, I'd love to see a Viduka or a Smith in front of Bamford.
I'd bring Tony Ybarra in.
Big Tony back, yeah.
Smash him.
Just to smash some nets apart again, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Have you gone down? Can you hear us again? Can you hear us, Chris?
I can. It's breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yeah, the video stopped a bit and it's breaking. Ah, there we go.
Are we right? Oh. Yeah, are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Right, yeah. Where were we at then?
Someone's put Billy Payne's.
Hold on.
Billy Payne would be phenomenal in the Bielsa, wouldn't he?
Rich Bedford, his would be Batty. But Batty would be a good shout. But then again, midfield, we're all right in midfield at the minute. Calvin's about nearest thing we've had to Batty for a long time.
And if you brought Batty back, he'd be constantly suspended. So
yeah. So
Okay.
So Chris, absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for doing this for us.
Yeah.
No problem.
Good luck.
If we're on quarantined, I'd be able to get all the other guys together as well. But unfortunately,
you will.
Are you all separate as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
So yeah.
So what are you doing for fun out there?
Trying to keep up with my 2 kids.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, that'll keep you fit. Well, what age are they?
My little girl's just turned 8, and my little boy's 5.
All right, you'll have your hand.
Yeah.
Have they got Yorkshire accent then, or what?
No,
American.
Yeah, well, my little girl was born in Cyprus because we used to live there as well. I've not done too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my little girl was born in Cyprus, and then we've moved around, but we've never actually lived in Yorkshire. So none of them's got any Yorkshire slang at all. No. My little girl was very posh before we moved here. Now she's American. My little boy, he just spoke with his own accent. I don't know where it came from, and now he's also gone American. So yeah.
And is your partner from Yorkshire?
No, she's from Northern Ireland.
All right.
No, Bangor, the other side.
Yeah. My mum's from Thailand. She's actually from Thailand.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
Yeah, it is. So should we wrap that up? So yeah, Chris, thank you very much for doing this for us.
Thanks for having me. It's much appreciated.
I've enjoyed that. Absolutely fantastic. So, thank you very much.
And my signal's not done too bad in the middle of the Mojave Desert neither. So.
It's been good. Yeah, it's been good. Spot on.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Take care, guys. All the best.
See you later. Bye.
Leeds.
Okay,